Somebody made a funny comment on one of my videos recently where they said they have 2 listeners on Spotify and they feel great. They made it. Hooray. Let's just say, okay, that's hilarious. I agree. All right. After the funniness is over, let's talk about why you might only have 2 followers or listeners. Let's assume the music is very good. Let's just assume that. The thought process that goes behind music being great and people who listen automatically wanting to hear more from you is a huge disconnect. That never, ever, ever happened. Years ago, even with record labels, a record label would promote that stuff like crazy in order for people to find it, like it, hear it more than once. There was a whole bunch of studies done where they need to hear it multiple times in order to realize they finally like it. And this is the masses. It's very rare, mostly just people like us who are musicians, the ones making the music, who could hear something once and be like, we love it. Usually people need to hear things pumped over and over and over in order for them to realize they like it or want to hear it again. So let's just assume that way back when, in the age of record labels, that they never promoted anything. You think they just said, okay, I'm putting out a song this month and I hope people like it. Here we go. Is it going to work? I hope so. I hope this better catch fire. That doesn't happen. And that's the same thing with you being like, I hope this works by putting out a song this month and then another one next month and another one. That's not ever gonna work. That person with 2 followers, 2 listeners, I want to see the links to the videos they sent, that they submitted every day for months prior to that. I'm talking about, let me see the 100 videos before that every day. Then let me see the 100 videos after it every day. Where is that? You didn't do that. And that's why you have 2 listeners. If anybody can realize one thing about the way the world works, it's that the hard work eventually gets rewarded. There are no shortcuts. There's no way for you to just get to point B without putting in all the work to get there. Now, this is why every time I hear somebody who says, oh, this, needing to see every side of an artist is nonsense. You're nonsense. Do you know why you're nonsense? Because you never tried it. And I don't mean need to see every side. I mean you need to do more. You need to put out a video every day, let's say, for a long time. Then somebody might care about you, which means they might care about your music. They're not just going to care about your music the first time they hear it. It doesn't usually work that way. And after it, what are you doing after it? You can't just put out the music. So many people today, I should be able to be a musician and just do that. That's my ticket. Let's do it. What is that nonsense? It's, you can't just do that. You cannot just do that if you want people to listen to your stuff. If you think you have stuff that's worth listening to, then why are you too scared to put out stuff before and after? When I say show every side of you, I don't mean show you waking up, eating breakfast, going to the studio, going home from the studio, talking about your day. I don't mean videotaping you while you sleep. I mean you being creative enough on a daily basis, putting out enough stuff, being daring enough to do the stuff before it's finished, before it's totally ready. All of that. In doing that, you show people every side of you, whether you realize it or not. Through enough time, you get to see who someone is. If all you do is put out one song every month or every couple weeks or whatever, you're not showing people anything that they could latch onto and say, I like this person, I want to hear more of their music. Or I like this song, this is great, and I like this other thing, and this is super creative, and now, oh, what a cool idea. That's the thing. You're on the line today every single time you put out an idea of something that could be entertaining for somebody to watch, could be interesting, could draw them into your music. It doesn't even cost you anything. Like, that's the part that I find hilarious, is that people think today is so bad when years ago, the record labels would spend tons of money and tell the artist everywhere to go. You got to show up at this place to do a meet and greet. You got to go there to get on this radio show. You got to get there at 9 a.m. in the morning to be on this morning thing. You got to go there to do a taping for whatever. They would send them all over the place in order to fulfill their contract, because they know without all this promotion, the stuff goes nowhere. What are we talking about here? Today, You don't even have to spend money to get into these places. You just have to put up stuff constantly and you'll get in front of people. If you put up enough stuff, you will get in front of people. But it's scary. You're not always going to be finished with it. You might not like the way you look. You might not know how to do stuff. You got to learn how to do it. So sad. You got to learn all this stuff. It's ridiculous to me that people think they don't have to do all this hard work in order to achieve what they want to achieve. Most people want people to think their art is good. It's worth listening to. But if you're not willing to even know, if you're your own label, no one's telling you to go all these places. You got to tell yourself. And the way to get into people's faces today is through their phones, because most people, no matter what they're doing, between doing anything and anything, they're in their phone. So might as well get there and show up. And this is the other thing. The things that mean nothing, don't do these things. Don't do sponsored videos. Like, don't pay for ads where you're just sitting there playing your song or whatever. Like, in my opinion, if I look on a video I'm watching and I see sponsored, I don't care about it. I just flip to the next one. I don't want anything fed to me through the sponsored nonsense. I want to, if it just gets into my face, that's fine. And this is the same thing people are doing on brands today, because they realize what people do. As soon as I see sponsored, I go past it. So don't pay for any ads for your music. It makes no sense. We are not selling products that will benefit people's lives, like something, you know, that, oh, the Scrub Daddy sponge is great because it'll help, you know, clean the dishes better. I need that so I can clean dishes faster. That's a product that's going to benefit someone's life. You could get away with an ad for something like that. Or let's say you have a service you're selling, like you're a masseuse. Okay, great. You put up an ad, people might need a massage and let's see your name, and if it's local, they'll go. That's not what we're doing here. People need to find you for your music to be important to them. As soon as they see you paid for something, you must not be important. You must not be good enough to get in front of people, and that's why you have to pay for ads. That's the mindset that they go through. As soon as they see it there, you can't tell people you're worth something and also pay for an ad at the same time. It doesn't work. So don't pay for ads. Also, don't pay any scammers to put you on playlists or to put you higher on the search results in the SEO. Don't pay for this stuff. It is a scam, and they are just trying to get you to believe that your likes and your views and your account is what makes you somebody who's worth it as an artist now. Like, you're worth something because you got this. They're preying on those people who need the likes, the views, and the whatever, because without it, they feel like nothing. I have to tell you, all that fake nonsense that they're generating from nowhere is nonsense, and they're all the same. Don't pay for playlists. Don't pay to get views and likes. It is nonsense. If you could pay a certain amount and get a certain amount of views and likes and whatever, it's not worth doing. Do not waste your money. I know a ton of people who spend money on that stuff and it's worthless. But these aren't the same people who were doing this 20 years ago when we realized that buying friends was worthless on like MySpace. It's the same stuff. It's always been worthless. So just realize that. Like, you don't have enough money to pay to get into the right places. The hard work gets you there. And if you have good music, you'll get there quicker. Just like, my videos. If I didn't put out a consistent video all the time, you guys wouldn't see me at all. But if I was bad at what I do, you also wouldn't see me because no one would click through and watch enough time. So what I'm saying is the talent still rises to the top, but the consistency with the talent is what's important. That's what's key. You understand what I'm saying? It's you got to have the talent and you got to be consistent. So once you realize all this and you realize that anybody who's telling you anything is nonsense, hasn't done it. Because anybody who says that, I want to see the stuff that they did 100 days before and 100 days after, a documented push. Where is it? If it's not there, you're not doing what record companies used to do to get their artists somewhere. So what makes you think it's going to work? It's not going to work. So bottom line, the people who get lucky off putting one song out and then all of a sudden TikTok grabs it and blows it up, you think that's the way the world works? It doesn't. That's a lottery ticket. You may get lucky and get the lottery ticket. You could get there without the lottery ticket if you just put out stuff every day. That's what I'm saying. put out stuff every day. The person who's the most fearless, the one who doesn't care about what people are going to like and say and do and based on this, and now they're going to, those are the people who win. The more risks you can take, the more chances of winning. The more fearless you are, the more chances of winning. So the people who are saying to you, it's nonsense to show every side or whatever, they're the ones that are the most afraid. They refuse to show who they are. Or they're the most afraid because they don't know stuff. They got to now go out and learn it. And they know if they don't know it, they're going to mess it up. So they're scared to mess it up. They're afraid to show who they are. They're afraid to get out of their comfort zone. Because nobody who's done what I'm explaining has a negative story about it. It always works better than putting out only what you want to do. Only music here and there. When it's ready, it'll go out. Let's just put one song out and see what happens. How many? Only 2 listeners. Yay, I made it. You're ridiculous. It's never going to work. You haven't put in the work because the work is the stuff you don't want to do. It's not the stuff you do want to do. Everybody wants to do what they want to do. That's why nobody goes anywhere. The people who do what they don't want to do when it's hard actually get somewhere. Wake up. Bottom line. Probably should put a little makeup. Okay? Talk to you guys soon. Evan Jaffe, Custom Cut Studios. You guys got this. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a like. I appreciate it. You seriously got this. Take it easy.